And you definitely didn't miss me thanking you for the follow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. Let's get started on this, huh? Before I divulge into some other big, giant, dumb folder that I have. But I appreciate it. Yay! 3 months. Yay, 3 months. Thank you, Mia. I really appreciate it. I told you, wait, Blurdy, I went into your stream and I went, oh, you have high Q alerts too. And then afterwards, I was like, who's the best boy? We had this conversation. No, stop. Shamai, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the gifted subs. You've been too much. It's already been a long day, I feel you. I've been trying to get more sleep, but I feel like it never works because of my freaking cats. Shamai, don't worry about it. You're being far too nice. Where's the cat stream? I am a Bokuto stan, yes. Bokuto's my love. I love him. He's so stupid, but he's so good at volleyball. Where cat? Oh. Okay, the only problem, so the other one, Felix, the first cat that I had, Felix is easier. This is kind of a conundrum. Felix is easier to pick up and hold. Felix is easier to pick up and hold, but he doesn't want to like sleep with you or anything like that. He'll like sleep next to you or something. Daisy, on the other hand, wait, didn't we get through this? Did I not save this? We got through this, right? Did I not save last time? I bad-ended, that's right, and then I didn't get to save. That's kind of annoying. Okay, let me double check if already red's on. I forgot about that. Okay, already red's on. I completely forgot about that. Okay. We could have been doing this while I was chatting nonsense. Daisy, on the other hand, very hard to pick up. She does not like getting picked up at all. However, she will do what I had in the pictures, which is she'll just like sleep next to you, and she'll like, she was like legit like right on my ribs last night. She was just like, I woke up, well, last night, this morning I woke up and I felt something fuzzy on my ribs, and there she was. And then she eventually started playing with my hairband on my wrist, and it woke me up. So even sleeping early, something will wake me up. Oliver hates getting picked up, but when it's cold outside, he lies against my legs. Yeah, see? She's the same way. She's the same way. Daisy will be on and around you, but Daisy will not be, Daisy will not be, what's it called? She won't like being held too much. Ow, that sucks. Felix will purposely step on your toes to get your attention, though. I think somehow we trained him to do that on accident or something. But if he wants food or something, or if he wants something like, and rubbing against your legs isn't getting what he wants, he'll just like step on your feet. You haven't seen Vika's kitties? Sorry, Vika or oh god, I feel terrible. Is it Vika or Vika? Vika, right? Ugh, Vika. Alright, there you go. Vika and Vicky. Sorry. I think it should be obvious, but... but, it's not amazing. It's very, very normal. My brain just sucks. But yeah, Daisy's a sweetheart. I like her quite a bit. She's still in the anytime your arm. Felix went through a phase way later on. This decision wasn't the decision that made it. Actually, Vika, let me ask. Is Vicky ever on the Shemai Twitch, or is she always on her own Twitch? It wasn't this decision. All right, so I'm gonna keep it the same. Right. Sorry. See, I told you I'm not amazing. It's Vika. So, which one of you? Vika's typically on Vika's, and Vicky's typically on Shemai's. Okay. Once in a blue moon. Okay. Would you prefer if I called you Vicky when you're on Shemai's on the Shemai channel, on the Shemai Twitch, or would you prefer if I just said Shemai instead? I have to do this, by the way. I have a really bad history of shortening people's names, and I have a really bad history of shortening people's names when they don't want it shortened, because I grew up in sports, and sports had that happen so often, because when you do call-outs in sports, you're trying to get the name out as soon as possible, right? You're not trying to... So, if you're, if your name's like, I had a player on my team who's, at one point, Michelangelo. We didn't call him Michelangelo on the field. We called him Mike. And so I have been trying to do my best to train myself to be better with people's names, and ask them ahead of time, hey, what do you like getting called? What do you prefer getting called? Is it okay if I call you this? Stuff like that. Especially considering that in fighting games specifically, because fighting games is a very... Oh, is this new? No. I was like, why did... Oh, it's because it switched chapters. Especially in fighting games is a very diverse community. We have everything from all sorts of walks of life to all sorts of LGBTQ. So, especially with LGBTQ, especially even more with trans people, getting to know people's names and getting better at calling them what they want to be called is important, especially for me, because I'm a commentator. Or you know, every now and then I call fighting games, I should say. I can't say I'm a commentator. I haven't done it professionally in a while. But since I am behind the stick or behind the microphone sometimes, I should ideally get better at calling people by what they're supposed to be called. Or what they want to be called. Hi, Helba. Thank you for stopping by. No, you did not miss anything. Vicky, it's my job though. Like I even if I don't do commentary professionally anymore, I want to get back into it now that my life allows it. But when I used to do commentary professionally, like, this is my job. I am essentially representing a bunch of people who don't get to talk themselves because they don't often get to hold a microphone and talk and stuff like that. So when I say their names, say their pronouns, I'm essentially speaking for them. So it's imperative for me to learn these sorts of things. Well, thank you. I appreciate that you guys appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully sooner than later I can start redoing fighting game stuff. I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule in a way that allows me to stream at least one more day a week. And hopefully that will end up me being just doing more fighting game stuff, because I haven't done fighting game stuff in a while and I need to... This is non-skippable. Interesting. And I need to do some, you know, so like on-stream studying and stuff like that. Stuff that has, stuff that has, what's it called? I've been putting off. More time. Can't believe this is non-skippable. Alright, well. Yeah, at least for Live Alive. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends who grew up on old RPGs, big RPG fans. Almost every one of them say that they love it. Yeah, I appreciate the kind words, Arcana, but at the same time, yeah, when you're just trying to, in the same vein of saying that it's like you want to normalize it, I don't feel amazing or special for doing it, you know? It's just normal for me. Was this one it? This is Don't Run, right? This is you run away, then Alistair catches you. Okay, sweet. Okay, yep, this is it. Woo! Alright, I owe you guys 30 minutes. 30 minutes plus whatever we need to finish it up.
さっきの爆発といい、この煙といい、なんなんだよこれは。
I will say that I give a lot of credit to my roommates. I give a lot of I give a lot of credit to my roommates back in college who were LGBTQ and
あんたは
taught me a lot. I'll say. Taught me a lot. So the one thing that I really did miss about being in college was that I was lucky enough to be a cis straight hetero male in a LGBTQ community because of my roommates, and that was a lot of fun. Constantly meeting new, interesting, different people. That was a lot of fun. I genuinely miss that. There's a lot of experiences I wouldn't have had without knowing those people.
この辺りの建物を回って風上に逃げるよ。避難の指示よ。
Yeah, pretty much everybody that I've heard, I don't know if I finished that thought, but pretty much everybody that I've heard who's playing Live Alive is saying that it's a fantastic game. Like, one of those things where it's like, I saw a tweet of it saying like, a technical 8 out of 10 in terms of the game, and a 10 out of 10 in my heart, sort of thing. Oh yeah, Kotene's Hot Grandpa's and is in Live Alive. I forgot.
逃げ遅れた人たちを助ける。
The GOAT.
戦争の悪夢なんてもう二度とごめんだ。
Speaking of, Vinland Saga 2, Season 2 got announced. I can't wait for him to reprise Thorkel. One of my favorite characters. Yeah, Uni is a good place for that. I got pretty lucky, though. I would still say I got pretty lucky, because I had my very, very first roommate was a friend of a friend of a friend, and that's how I met them, basically. So, I mean, I got lucky still.
くそ、まだだ。
Sagita's in every chapter. They just got his they got the most out of his money. Oh, is she immune? Because her horologium's made out of the Zectarium as well?
いや、それどころか、君は体調を崩してたはずなのに。体調が良くなる。ホロロギウムの変質が。
Oh, just go breathe in the Zectarium for the horologium.
いや、待って。まさか。
Oh shit. I had this thought, but I was like, I don't know how normal the rest of her organs are.
ちょっと待って。もう少しで。そうか。そうだったんだ。
Oh, he's sciencing the fuck out of something right now.
わかった。
Just go in there and breathe it. Breathe it away from everybody. Oh no.
互いに反応して特殊な化合が起きる。効果を打ち消し合うことができるんだ。あ、ごめん。つい。ホロロギウムの変質は止められる。
Barry,
君を救うことができる。
Oh yeah, I should have said something. This is my very first playthrough of Code Realize. I have done I've done Van Helsing and MP's route, but this is my first time. Yeah, I'm playing through Code Realize for my first time. Also, Barry, anytime somebody asks me about seiyus in Live Alive, because, you know, I like seiyus, just say all of them. Oh, the Impy haters logged on. I forgot. I forgot. Yeah, if there's a male seiyu that you've liked in the last 10 to 15 years, they're probably in Live Alive. That is not a joke. Vika hates Impy too? Oh my god. Don't understand. I don't understand. But he's not even like a wah-wah boyfriend. He's just sitting there and he's like, hey, I love you. And she's like, okay. And then they move on. And then he says, hey, I love you again. Oh, you're gonna meet Alisar. He's the original. Oh my god. Not even. Whoa. A murder of Twilight. That's pretty good. I like it. Yeah, that's really, really good. I very, very much like as like a dynamic. I very much like when there is some sort of like one side of the dynamic is like a character that is like maybe traumatized or for some way, shape or form doesn't have like a good way to experience what like love is, right? And the other person just sitting around and just being like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying it until you understand, like, you're amazing, I love you. That is great. I love that dynamic. Okay, but this isn't a dynamic though. I'm not in an Otome game. I'm not the love interest. It doesn't work. Everything we can't relate everything to Otome games, otherwise. Jesus. Okay, if I'm in an Otome game, what's my color highlight? Because I wear nothing but black and gray. Every Otome character needs a color. Blue. Alright. Well, you're right. Why did I even say that? Why did I even say that? I love blue-gray. Blue-gray is a really good neutral plus bright color. One day when I stop looking gross and I get back to the gym, and then I will comfortably say that maybe I can possibly be a love interest once again, but not now. So didn't I fix this? What the hell? It can't be an Otome game if I'm the main character, though.
人道主義のあなたには見ていられない光景かしら、レオン。
これは後の平和を守ることにつながるのであれば。
Speaking of, this is the only possible time, the only possible time that we could possibly have a male character for a love interest in an Otome game is either... No, this is the only way. This is the only way. Is that if it's Soan from Cafe Enchanté, if it's Kotene's grandfather, and he gets his own game as a Cafe Enchanté fan disc. That's the only time you could possibly get a male love interest Otome. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Is there a single Otome fan that would not be down to play Soan, like young Soan? Like young Soan finds his love. Even old, but you know, he's already a grandfather by that time, you know? One of the Hakuoki games has a male lead, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Remeroku. Alright, I guess we'll see how fast we get through chapter 12 to see if we're going to go on. But I do owe you guys at least like 20 more minutes. There are routes, but they're all non-romantic. Okay, see that is unacceptable. If we're having this Soan fan disc for Cafe Enchanté, that's definitely happening. There's gonna be romance. That's for sure. I'm telling you, this is why they won't let me make an Otome game. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real. I will not. You cannot keep me from putting the romance in the game. One day I'll make it. One day I'll make it. Every day I get closer to, especially now that I feel god awful in almost every competitive game that I'm playing right now. I really don't want to play video games. I do not have the desire or want to play video games right now. So maybe it's just time to start like writing stuff out. Oops. No, you don't get it, idiot. If it was like with the actual characters in Heimeroku, I think the JP fans would have words. I don't really have a good handle on how Japanese Otome fans really think or feel, and I think I should fix that. It's another good reason to get better at or to learn more Japanese is to explore that world of Twitter.
カルディア。
Wait, what's happening? She's falling in love. And she doesn't know what that feels like. Victor blush. Is that what this is? Yeah, Victor blush. There was a male NPC that had feelings for one of the rap boys in Verce, and there was definitely some vocal fans that didn't like it. Oh, do they kind of want like more of a purist sort of look at a Otome? Well, some is not bad though. I kind of want a general feel. Well, I have to start with a general feel if I want to know how the like Japanese Otome fans feel like. Let's see. Oh, it was okay. That really sucks, yeah. That's unfortunate. They're just very strict with the definitions. This is not, yeah, because it's not like Japan's against BL, right? I think they just, probably that the Otome fans just want the Otome. It was huge when a female character was added to Obey Me. Oh! I didn't even know that there was a female character in Obey Me. Woo! Is this the first route where she says it first? That we've played? No, I mean, from what you're saying, it sounds like that's the case. Alster, this is how we get back to the same part of the route. Yep. Hey, Alster. Hey, Crows. Hey, Jimmy! How's it going? How's it going, Koyama? Hope you're having a good day. But that's unfortunate. I think, at least for me, like, I think that, and this is probably why, probably because of JP fans, but I really do think that there's a lot of, like, you can get way broader. You can get way broader with what Otomes can do, I think the core of an Otome game is probably that. It's just, you know, I think the core of an Otome game is like a female protagonist and romance. Yeah, video game magic. But I trust Barry. She knows so much about this stuff. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to go push it that far, but I would accept that definition too. Yeah, Barry knows these things. Barry knows these things. I trust her in that regard. But I would take that definition for sure. I just think that there's a bunch of ways we can bend this sort of thing, no?
その通りだがそのために動くのは君一人だシュタイン博士カルディア君、君はその間我々の監視下にいてもらおう。
なんだってなんで彼女
なぜと言われてもそのまま逃げられては目も当てられん。知っていると故に時間を決めるとしよう。そうだな。4時間の猶予をあげよう。その間にジクテリウムを探してほしい。君たちの話は聞かせてもらった。ジクテリウムさえあれば彼女は助かるのだろう。ならばいずれにせよ
ジクテリウムを入手できなかったら
その時はそうだな。彼女の怪物化は我々が未然に防ぐとしよう。少々手荒い方法になるとは思うがね。
彼女を殺す気か
想像にお任せしよ
う。はったりだなアレスタ。お前は嘘をついてる。
ほう、どういうことかな。
Playing this game with Alistair seems
ビクトリ
ill-advised.
アは彼女の死を望んでない。
But he is a smart boy.
彼女に兵器としての価値を見出したからだ。だからアレスタ。
なるほど。君の言い分はもっともだ。が、残念だ。私は彼女を殺すことにわずかなためらいもないよ。
女王を裏切る気なの
We
か。
all have Barry. We all have our preferred strengths.
裏切るとは人聞きの悪いこと。
You know,
うっかり手が滑ってし
I
まう。
I have real interest in counting bullets in movies. I have a real big problem with that. I have a friend. So I have a friend. My friend in movies. Anytime he sees a reflection, he's like immediately looking for the camera crew and stuff like that to be seen in the reflection. It's freaking hilarious. It's like he can't even watch a movie normal anymore. But my version of that is counting bullets. If I count bullets and you go over your magazine count or your clip count or something like that, like I'm done, I'm out. No thank you. You better show me, you better give me the benefit of the doubt. Give me a spot where they possibly could have reloaded. But that comes from a lot of facets of my life, both video game and non-video game related.
それは君の知るところではだが、よりさて、シュタイン博士、時間はどんどんと過ぎていくよ。
Otome games, yeah, but you know,
なんなら駆け足で行くことを。
Otome games aren't not, you know, Otome games are video games too.
お前の言葉に従って。
You know,
彼女が無事に解
it's
放
not
さ
like
れ
they're
る保証
made
は
like by a completely different set of rules. Of course, things, you know, things are gonna happen in Otomes that happen in regular video games.
そうだな。そこは彼女自身の価値
People
を
seem to forget that they're video
信じるしかない
games.
だろう。
If they weren't video games, then we could just put them in a. We could just release a Word doc.
彼女の兵器としての価値を。
We could just do like a Word doc and a drama CD. We can call it an Otome game.
とはいえ、
Today is Gil's birthday.
ジクテリウムがあってこそのもの。
I need to get back to Pufiore. I am almost done with Ichi's routes. And then I have just Shion's route, and then we're done.
理解したかね。どうあっても君はジクテリウムを手に入れなければいけないのだよ。
It is definitely my reminder to play Pufiore because I need to get that done.
簡易的だが通信装置を用意しておいた。君にはこれを身につけてほしい。
I have to play Pufiore. Gil's I'll probably like Gil. I don't see a world where I don't, honestly. But it is Pufiore. Pufiore is kind of wild, so you know, there's a possibility.
それとシュタイン博士、君にはさらに関心をつける。
Oh.
何か妙な真似をしたり、君の仲間が事情に感づいてしまった場合、また監視が君を見失った場合には、君の大切な人形はあっさりと壊れてしまうことを。
Blurdy's really impressive in the way that she stares at her backlog. She looks. I feel like a lot of people like. Blurdy doesn't act like her backlog exists. It's impressive. Everybody's like, oh, you know, we have to get to the backlog. We have to do the things. Blurdy's like, yeah, what do you mean? What game? It's not shade, it's impressive. It's impressive.
でも
I am like anytime, every day we get closer to Episodio 1926. Every time we get closer to Episodio 1926, I go, crap, I have to finish both Pio Fiore and a Variable Barricade before that happens. Wait, you don't know? Yeah, see, that's what I'm telling. It's impressive. Blurdy lives her life without the weight of the backlog. You know how much your shoulders, much less your shoulders would weigh if you didn't have your backlog on it? See, Barry, that's different. If you're looking at your backlog, Barry is apparently staring down her backlog like it's not even a problem. They're just in a death lock right now.
ジクテリウム必ず手に入れる。その代わり彼女の身に何かあった。
Much like my student loans. Oh boy. I will say, there is Arcana very similar to you, actually. I I think there is a beauty of a backlog, right?
僕を信じて
There is a beauty of a
君を救うという言
backlog,
葉は
which is that whenever you have more time, there's something for you to do.
すぐに戻ってくる
The problem is that when it gets really, really big. And that's currently what's happening right now. Like, I have an infinite backlog for anime, but it gets shaved off every so often.
Oh
man, Alistair's gonna give her the knife hand to the neck, right?
カルディア諦めないで僕はまだ何も諦めてない
The gamer spirit has moved me to BL games, so I play them.
必ず迎えに来る
Is that what you're calling it? You're calling it a gamer spirit? Your gamer spirit is the motivation to play BL games? Hmm. Only the spirit.
急がなきゃ
That and the stories. Gotcha.
Kusa! 情けない
Ikemen Sengoku, Olympia, Clap, Gakuensai, Tokenrambu, Spirits. Clap looked interesting. I looked into Clap after people suggested it. That looks really interesting. I kind of wanted to play that. But, you know, I'm already struggling with the games I have right now, so maybe I shouldn't say things.
けど
Oops. There you go. Hey.
インピーは爆破事件を案じてお前たちを探しにルパンと伯爵は先行してジクテリウムのアリカへと向かっている残された時間が少ないからなそれぞれに行動している
Arcana, I'm exactly the same way.
場所が分かったんだ
Which is, but the only difference is I have two games. I have the game I play on stream, and then I have the game I play alone. So like, Very Berries, the game I play alone right now, and this game is the ones I'm playing on stream. Hey Fox, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. How's it going, everybody?
そこにジクテリウムの所在が記されていた
Hope you had a good stream,
正直
Fox.
できすぎだが 今はただ幸運に感謝するのみだ。
そう。わかっ。
Hey, Ralarina? I'm so bad at names. I'm sorry. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. We are currently playing through Code Realize, which is a really fun game, visual novel / otome game, whichever you know them by.
それで、
And shit's going down. Other than that, I know most of you guys are probably talking to Fox about fighting game stuff. If you want to chat about fighting games, feel free to ask questions or talk about it or anything like that. I'm down to talk about fighting games as well. Although, Jesus hell, I need to probably start streaming fighting games again. Maybe since I've started playing DNF, Hydrate will do. There you go. I have some of my, this is all of my oolong lemonade that I have left. I need to go get my water in a second. My oolong tea lemonade, that's a concoction of my own making. Yeah, iced tea. I bought some iced tea a couple days ago. It's perfect for the heat. Which it is 91, which is God damn it, I learned how to do this a second ago. 20, 30, 60, 62, 59, 60 divided by... It's about 20... Wait, it's Fahrenheit minus 32 times 5/9, right? So it would be 59 times 5/9, which is close to a half. It's around like 22, 23. I feel like it should be more than that. My routine mental math.
何？それは朗報だな。
It's 91 Fahrenheit American.
ああ、ジクテリウムの毒に。
My guess is 23. Tell me how I'm wrong. Is it adding it? It's adding it afterwards, not subtracting it. Is it adding it afterwards? Yes, because 5/9 is more than 1/2. Because 5/9 is more than 1/2. My brain sucks. I can't do this. I can't do this shit anymore.
けど、予想より変質が早い。あと3時間以内に治療しないと。
Wait, he's using Morse code? Oh, okay. I should learn Morse code, just for fun. That sounds like it'd be useful in case one of my loved ones gets captured. And, I need to communicate with somebody else who knows Morse code.
なるほどな。ジクテリウムを手に入れれば、あの女を救うことができるんだな。
Oh, that's right, Blurty. You have what was it? Otaku-con? Is that it? Otakon. Gotcha. I was close. Otakuthons in August. There's 2 of them?!
ああ、その通りだよ。 ジクテリウムの所在は。
Gotcha. Okay. Well, good luck. If you prove your press app. Yeah, let's go. I hope you have a lot of fun.
ファン、頼む、答えてくれ。大切なことなんだ。
And make sure to stay safe. Drink, you know, remember? Drink hand sanitizer. Wash a mask.
バッキンガム宮殿付近の地下だ。急ぐぞ。もう時間はないのだからな。
ああ、そうだね。
No worries, Vicky. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for all the gifted subs. You're amazing. And I hope you have a good rest of your Tuesday. We'll be back on Friday with something. I don't know what it'll be yet. Have a good one. Maybe it'll be the next route. Maybe it'll be the end of this one. Considering we're not getting that much closer to finishing this chapter. It'll be a surprise. Yeah, it'll be a surprise. Oops.
Shitsure. Hai. 入室を許可された。
Fucking Koyama,
受け取っ
dude.
ておくよ。気分はどうかね。体調が悪くなったのならいつでも呼びつけてくれたまえ。君の体調次第ではこのロンドンに生命が存在できなくなるのだから。ああ、そうだ。音楽でも聴くかね。
Wait, what?
私の趣味でね。この部屋には最新のフォノグ
I
ラ
have
フ
the latest. I have the latest Walkman.
アイザックの発明で最も偉大だったのは個人的にはこのフォノグラフだと思う。例えるならば持ち運びできる楽団。音楽の素晴らしさ。
In this world, he made the phonograph.
してくれた。
Very
マザ
cool.
ーグースからクラシックまで何でも好きだが割と派手好きな性格でね。激しい曲など気に入っているんだ。そうだった。趣味の話
This is the weirdest character, I swear to God.
にそれてしまう。ジクテリウムのありかをシュタイン博士は掴んだ。
Like, it's Koyama, but it's like just a dude who's doing his job.
これで君は助かるというのに喜ばないのかね。うん。では違う話をしようか。今、ジクテリウムのありかに黄昏兵を向かう。
Yeah, he's just evil. He's just evil. Like, other than that, like, he just goes about his day, like, you know, goes to the grocery store, says hi to the nice, you know, old ladies. And then he's just evil. Then he goes there and he's like, oh, all right, time to go killing again. Or clock in.
シュタイン博士が従順だったとしても、仲間がおとなしいとは限らないだろう。
Getting, you know, between Blurdy's, love for Taiga and her hatred for Impy, I'm like kind of getting closer and closer to understanding her interests. Like there's always a character that like kind of puts it in perspective for me, right? Like for Barry, it was Yosuga. I was like, once I played Yosuga's route, I was like, oh, okay, I understand why. I understand why, like, she likes the character she likes. For Anne, it was Impy, right? I was like, oh, okay. Blurdy, You want somebody who's not gonna give you everything at the drop of the dime. You want to fight in some way, shape, or form. It's not always going to be the same exact fight, but it's gonna be a fight. See? I told you. Between Taiga and Impy, I figured it out. There's always, as soon as I get past a few routes, I'm like, oh, okay. I got it. It's okay. I like to know what people's interests are. Yeah, like berries, like, yeah, it's berry bait, but at the same time, like, some of the berry bait's really good. I thought Yosuga had the best of the common routes the best of the non-locked routes in Olympia. I really liked his route. I thought his route was great. London's about to turn into a puffball of poison smoke, and Alistair is like, do you want to have some tea? Kuroba's great. I think I didn't like Kuroba's route as much as I liked Kuroba the character, though. The last scene for Kuroba, though, the very last scene was actually like, mwah. The very last scene was like that CG. That was close to one of my favorite CGs in the whole game. Of Kuroba kneeling down in front of Byakuya. Like that was by far one of my favorite CGs of the game. It was set up so well. That's the type of shit I love in romance. The hard callback when everything around you's changed. I'm believing in Victor. That's that decision. I believe in Victor. I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I don't just die. So then I have to go all the way back. Am I gonna die again? Do I have to save? Oh boy. Ah! Crap! Well, do you guys want to take a quick break while this runs out really quick? Go get a cup of water, because I'm going to go do that myself. Ugh. Hey, Shellbell. Welcome to join us for a break. I can't believe I ran into 2 dead ends. All right, we're back. Only took like 10 minutes. I should have saved. I was being too I was being too timid about it. I was like, oh crap, should I save? Should I not save? I'm not sure. Is this gonna like leave me on this route? I should have saved. She worked on fighting games? Ooh. It's gonna suck that I'm gonna know her work without knowing what work she actually did. She worked on OG Street Fighter 2. Yeah, and her music, or her music still gets remixed to this day. Like Street Fighter 5 is almost entirely like remixes of people's older versions of their song or tracks. Oh, she did the music for the Mario and Luigi DS games? No freaking way. Not just the DS games, the what's it called? The Advance and DS games. Were they all Advance and DS games? Either way. I love those games. Superstar Saga was like one of my favorite games. She's also the old Mario RPG composer? Yeah, well, you know, what? That makes sense. That makes sense. What's her latest game? She did Mario and the Rabbids. Street of Rage 4, Kingdom Hearts 3. I guess Kingdom Hearts 3 would probably be the big one. And she helped with the orchestration for Live Alive. Okay. She's doing the music for the what's it called? She's either doing the music or helping. Anyway, it's some way, shape, or form, but she's doing the music for the Legend of Mana anime? That's kind of nuts. She's original composer. Yeah. But I assume that they're gonna either retool or like reorchestrate or anything, something like that for the anime. I'd imagine they're not gonna use the super old tracks. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but I don't think they're going to. They re-orchestrated the... Yeah, I knew that there was a recent port of it, so that makes sense. Maybe they'll just use those. I'm not sure. Oh, 3 hours. Wait, did Alistair just leave? Barry, you're not the only one. There's a huge... My friend also loves Legend of Mana. So... Don't worry about it. Biases, I'm here for you to insert your biases within your love for video games. Damn, she set the house on fire and then jumped out a window? What a champion. Oh shit! Considering how strong she is, she probably broke his trachea. Hey, how's it going? Oh man, his voice just cuts through the air. Time to launch Impy through the cannon.
おっしゃー、とんだ曲芸飛行だったけど大成功。いいっていいって、姫のピンチを救うのはいつだって白馬に乗った王子様って決まってるじゃん。ま、俺の場合は鋼鉄の鳥に乗った天才技師だけどさ、無事で何よりだよ。てか偶然君を見つけたのはいいけど、フランはあいつどこ行ったの？なるほどね。フランのやつ、なかなかかっこいい。
Who knew he had it in him?
ジクテリウムのありかはもう分かってんだ。あいつらが合流してるならもうそっちに向かってるはず。オーケーオーケー、インピーさんに任せなさいって。一丁夜間飛行と行こうじゃないの。ちょっと荒く飛ぶからね。しっかり捕まってよ。
Wonder where the other two are. Saint Germain and Lupin haven't been seen for a second. They're probably doing something funky. Ooh, new background.
ロンドンの地下にこんな空間があるなんて。
感心している場合か。ルパンたちに合流するぞ。
Oh, we're looking for Lupin. All right.
そうだね。
Ba-da.
急がなきゃ。
Hey, how's it going? I was just asking about you guys.
ジクテリウムは見つかったか？
いや、まだだ。一応隅から隅まで見たつもりだが、ここから先に進む方法がわからねえ。目の前にあんなバカでっかい扉があるくせにな。
There they are. The two.
あの扉。
The two most annoying, the two most annoying people in this game, affectionately, for various different reasons.
彼女の姿が見えないようですが、うん、それなんだけど。
なるほど、そんな方法で解毒が。ならばなおのこと。手に入れる必要がありますね。
みんな、どうしたの？
どうやら黄昏はもはや我々が役目を果たしたと判断したようだな。私たちをつけたか、先回りしたか。
そんなバカな。
But they didn't find it.
フラン、後ろです。
かな。
おお、すげえなフラン。
Smoke bomb.
いいもん持ってるじゃねえか。
フラン、どうやら向こうはお前との約束を守る気などないようだな。どうするつもりだ？
必要以上に黄昏を刺激できない。あっちには彼女がいるんだ。
おいおいおい、大軍がお出ましだぞ。応戦しねえとこっちがやべえ。
分かってるけど。
アレスターめ、一体何を考えてこんなことを。
バン、黄昏の命令系統について聞きたいことがあるんだけど。
命令系統？それがどうした？
It's interesting to ask
指揮官クラスが現場にいない状況で予期しない出来事が起きた場合、現場にいる兵士は各々が判断して行動するの。
それはこの場に関係あることか？
Yes, that's why I'm asking.
ああ、
黄昏も一枚岩ではないが、少なくともアレスターの指揮する部隊ならばそれはない。奴なら現場にいなくとも兵士からの報告を通信で受けつつ柔軟に対応するだろうな。
なるほど。バン、しばらくの間僕を。アレスター、交渉がしたい。僕たちには最後の切り札がある。それがなければ
We want to
ビクテ
negotiate.
リウムを手に入れることはできない。
Immediately shoots them down. Hey, look at that.
僕たちを用済みと考えているようだが、それは大きな間違いだ。
I don't know,
ジクテリウム
but
は
they've
このホールの奥にある。
they've constantly put Victor in this
ルパンは
situation where he's like
奥へと
been
続
the
く隠し通路を
negotiator, even
見
in
つ
the
けること
common
ができ
route,
なかった。
right? He kind of like holds everybody hostage, and he's the one who negotiates.
なぜなら
Even if he kind of
この
loses,
ホールには
even if he kind of
関係
loses
者し
that
かわからない
negotiation.
仕掛けがあるか
Yeah,
らだ。
he almost never wins the negotiation.
ホロロギウムの
But
変質まで
it always
およそ
turns
2時
out
間弱。
fine, even if he loses it.
それを過ぎれば、たとえここで僕たちを殺したとしても、お前は仕掛けを解くことができず、ジクテリウムを手に入れることもできない。カルディア、彼女は自分のせいで仲間が死ぬくらいなら、自分を犠牲にすると考えるだろう。僕だってそうだ。ここにいる仲間たちが一人でも死んだなら、僕にはここで死ぬ覚悟がある。そうなればアレスタ、お前はジクテリウムも彼女も手に入れることはできない。
勘違いしないでくれたまえ、シュタイン博士。君の人形は私の手元にある。
仮にそうだとして、ここから先の道を開くには僕の協力が不可欠だ。そして僕は仲間が一人でも死ねばお前に協力しない。徹底的に交戦する。捕まっても口は割らない。さあどうする？悠長に拷問をしている時間だってないんだ。それとも全員このロンドンで心中するか？
I don't know, I feel like Alistair's pretty down to die. He's just like, whatever.
Sa, 答えよ、アレスタ。
Yeah, he's like, all right. Can I have tea in my last moments?
話を聞こうじゃないか。
It's interesting. We don't know what point in time this is, right? Is this post Cardia jumping out and escaping? Is Alistair using the idea that Victor doesn't know that she's escaped? Sorry, is Alistair using the idea that Victor doesn't know that she's escaped? At that point, Alistair would know that he only has a certain amount of time for him to make these sorts of decisions.
ホールの奥への道
Because
を
he's
開く
going
の
to
は
lose all bargaining
僕の条件を
strength
飲んでも
and
らう。
once Victor knows.
アレスタ、彼女をここに連れてこい。彼女の身柄を確保した後、そのホールの扉を開ける。
それは無理な相談だな。
Oh, he does know. He does know. He does know. He can't say that he doesn't have her, because then they'll just leave. So he totally knows. This is totally after she's left.
いいや、連れてくるのが先だ。そうでなければ彼女を助ける時間はない。時間がないんだ。答えを聞かせろ。
Although at this point, like, it's a binary answer. So the fact that he isn't answering means that there is something that's wrong. Yep, there it is. Yep. There it is. Although there's a possibility that Fran learns that she's escaped from this, considering that that decision doesn't make any sense to their objectives.
ホロロギウムを諦めるのか。
And Fran's smart. I feel like he'd figure it out. Yeah, but this is book smart. This is just logic. You're making logical arguments, and then you're basing it. You're putting numbers around everything, right? How likely is it that he is bluffing? How likely is it that everything he says is actually true? How how much of this makes sense? And since it doesn't really make any sense for him to lie there or to give up in that situation, why would he just say, like, okay, we all die? He's like, all right, we're killing her, and no Zicterium, everybody goes home. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, I guess this answers all of his questions. He didn't need to figure out anything. Do you mean Impy? He was helping her walk. She's like weak. She's like literally dying. God, Blurty, enough. Just hating on him when it's not even his route. He's taking such a back role in this route. This is a more love interest centric role than some of the other roles or some of the other routes. Like it's pretty much only been Victor and Cardia this time.
なんか久しぶりの全員集合って感じ。ま、周りに敵がたくさんいるから少しも嬉しくねえけど。
皆さん、意気込むのは構いませんが、怪我だけはしないようにしてくださいね。
アレスタ、お前の負けだ。
私の負け。なるほど。数の上ではこちらが圧倒的に有利。
Okay, but we have a gun. We have a dude with guns. No worries, Blurty. Real quick, what happened the last few minutes was Cardio was captured. They forced Victor to look for the Zicterium. During the time looking for the Zicterium, Cardia escaped. Alistair tried to play his hand hard by pretending like they still had her. Victor tried to play hardball using that without that information, I should say. Tried to play hardball without that information, knowing that their goals are going to meet and end without Cardia or the Zicterium. And then it was discovered that Cardia actually escaped, so that Alistair trying to play hardball back didn't actually matter all that much. So now we're here. And Impy was the one who saved her, basically. It like flew low. So like Victor was like playing the numbers basically and saying like, oh, if you guys don't let Cardia go or don't bring Cardia here, then I won't find the Zicterium for you. And without Cardia and without the Zicterium, you guys have nothing. Like you guys can't do your crazy war. And then they were like, okay, no, just kill those guys. And then he was like, what the hell? And then Cardia shows up. And then everybody else is happy that she's okay, relatively. So they're about to go fight. But yeah, the reason why Impy picked her up in the flying copter thing, and she's like kind of slowly dying. So that's why he was helping her out. Also, she set this place on fire. You get quite a bit of the seeing Cardia, like, you know, the half sprite. Oh, she threw the candlestick through the window? She should have thrown the candlestick on the ground and set the house on fire. If you set the house on fire, then they have another thing to worry about. Oh shit. And it seems like Victoria's just gonna blame Twilight here. Hey! F's in the chat for the non-named NPC. Alistair going down fighting is pretty cool though. Let's see how nice I am. Oh, I wish I could get a picture of this. Oh man, I wish I could get a picture. Like, I wish I could get a fucking I wish I could get a CG of this. This would be so sick. Alistair, like, covered in blood. He's just, like, covered in somebody's blood and, like, just humming. That shit is sick. And that's it. Alistair leaves. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's a really good line. Definitely, they're just like, and Alistair leaves. Well, it's time to deal with Queen Bee, I guess. I'd be really interested if Lionheart doesn't actually do anything here.
そんだけ銃向けられちゃさすがに動くに動けねえよ。
全員油断するな。間の抜けた行動も目立つがレオンハルトという男の剣の腕は間違いなく本物だ。
Oh man, they should have Lionheart fight it.
いいえ、教えても構わないわ、レオンハルト。何しろそのお人形ちゃんにも関係のある話なのだから。
Jesus. Hello.
また会ったわね、シュタイン博士。お人形ちゃん。
ビクトリア。
The final
いろいろ言い
boss.
たいことはあるけれど、まずはお礼から言っておきましょう。あなたたちが黄昏を引きつけてくれたおかげで兵士に被害が出
This
ず
is
に
some final boss ass music though, that's for sure.
ありがとう。とても助かったわ。
それはつまり黄昏とことを構えるのに我々をおとりにしたということか。
結果的にそうなっただけよ。
Hmm.
もともと私はアレスターを監視していた。彼の造反の意志には気づいていたから。危険な思想を持つ彼のもとに死をまく怪物となり得る少女が転がり込めばどうなるか。結果は見ての通り。アレスターは見事に尻尾を出してくれたというわけね。そういうことよ。あなたたちがバッキンガム宮殿を脱出できたのも泳がせるため。
Hmm.
そしてそのおかげでこの場所も見つかった。
Is that a bit too
ありが
convenient?
とう。あなたたちこそ旧国の英雄だわ。以前宮殿で言った通りよ。イギリスが生き残るためには今このタイミングで戦争が起きてくれないと困る。
Hmm.
そのためには多少なりとも痛みが必要。
多少だってジクテリウムを使えば多くの人が死ぬ。それをお前は多少だって言うのか。
ええ、その通りよ。
Yeah. Yeah.
今はまだ我がイギリスにはアイザックのもたらした技術的優位がある。だけど10年20年後技術の差が埋まってから世界大戦が起きれば周辺国に恨まれるイギリスは必ず負けて蹂躙される。
I wonder why everybody hates Britain.
その時を
I can't imagine why.
ずっと少ないと言えるわ。
Couldn't imagine why in the 1850s and 60s why everybody would hate Britain. I can't imagine why everybody would hate such a country. With such history.
少数を犠牲に多数を取ると実に死生者らしい発想です。あなたの言うことも
Saint Germain's like,
わから
yeah, I
な
would
く
have
は
done
あり
it.
ませんね。
あら、そちらにも物分かりがいい人間がいるみたいね。サンジェルマン伯爵、あなたは私に賛同してくれるのかしら。
ええ、半分は。
I love Saint Germain. He's just like, yeah, I mean, it's not
です
crazy.
が、あなたが見ているのは所詮イギリス一国についてだけだ。世界全体から見てみればあなたの意見
Damn.
一方的な物言いで
Saint Germain gonna shoot her down with words?
なんとでも言うがいいわ。私はイギリスの女王。それがイギリスの立場に立たずして何の意味があるというの。
I'm gonna make an assessment here. I'm gonna state something. Do not respond to this in any sort of way. They have the same hair color.
一つ教えてあげる。この地下はただジクテリウムを保管しているだけの場所ではない。この巨
Oh,
大な
really?
施設
That
が
would have been the twist.
そのまま一つの兵器なのよ。
That would have been the twist. All right. Well,
どういう
they have the same hair color.
ジクテリウムの発見後、アイザックはロンド
How
ン
am I
に
not
大きな
supposed to
仕掛
think
けを放ち
something of involved in it?
この気候都市ロンドンには敵国に知られてはならないさまざまな技術が用いられている。錬金術、機械工学、
God, I really don't know what Saint Germain's story is going to be about
物
then.
理学、海洋技術に新たなるエネルギーまで、さまざまな分野において他国とは比較にならない知識
I
と
hope that
技術
Saint Germain's story is about him being like infinite years old.
だからどんな犠牲を払ってもこの都市を敵国に渡さぬためのとある仕
Like,
掛けがあるのよ。
like Cardi's gonna find pictures of him like back in the 1600s or something.
まさか自国全土にジクテリウムを散布する装置。
そう言うなればジクテリウムによる自爆
Well, he's
装置
soon. He's
それ
soon.
こそ私が探し求めていたもの。
He's soon.
世界大戦への序章としてロンドンとその住民には犠牲になってもらうわ。
Keep in mind that he's probably the route that I realize that there's a very big category. Ooh.
ロンドンを壊滅させて大戦の引き金を引くってこと？
こんなことを冗談で言えるとでも？
Cause it's stupid?
そんなことそんなこと許されるわけがない。
許されるつもりは毛頭ないわ。私はきっと煉獄の炎で焼かれるでしょう。ロンドンにいる多くの人々がそれで死に
Jeez.
たいでしょう。
Victoria is like, yeah, I might burn in hell for eternity for this, but I like spas better than
し
pools.
かしジクテリウムの毒は数日で消えて残された国民はテロを起こした各国への怒りを抱いて復興の道を歩む。
I know we're like kind of strapped for time, but as soon as you said that, why isn't it showing up? There we go. As soon as you said that, Barry. Oh, come on. Load quicker than like... Load quicker than being like the slowest thing on Earth, please. Ugh. Awful. This took like twice as long as it needed to. There you go. Oh, you even can't even see the whole thing. Oh, because it's too zoomed out. All right, hold on. There you go. There you go. The very first thing I thought of. Me? No. I meant the Chris Jericho picture. No, or Helba, my hair is nowhere near purple enough.
そしてその怒りは戦争へつながる。そういうことか。
今戦争が始まりさえすればロンドンの被害が大きくともアイザックがもたらした圧倒的な兵器の数々によってイギリスは必ず勝つ。そのためにロンドンを一時的に失うくらいは
No?
安い代償でいいでしょ。
Actually, no. You like you're like Saint Germain was right. Like you destroy London and you destroy everybody else, but everybody else is destroyed now. So now that everybody else is destroyed, you take over all of that stuff, but it's all destroyed. You're taking over destroyed shit. That means you either have to A, rebuild it, or B, leave it destroyed, in which you're gonna have a bunch of people who don't have anywhere to go, are gonna band together, and then go to your place, which is already destroyed. This is poor even from war standards.
ロンドンの市民だけでなくここにいるお前たちも死ぬ。
そうね。けれどそれが何だというの？
Even colonialism makes more sense than this. Because colonialism was about like going into other areas and then taking their stuff by force. But mostly leaving it intact. This is destroying everything. The problem with colonialism is that they never actually took any steps to protect stuff, is the issue. Colonialism itself was implemented poorly, even if it sucked itself. The British really just sucked at it. The British and the Spanish sucked at it. The Spanish especially sucked at it. The British really sucked at it. The French ultra sucked at it. The Dutch were okay at it, but they never did it so much that it mattered. It's hard to even say that the French ultra sucked at it because they're probably the ones with the most lasting effects on Africa. But the Spanish ultra sucked at it. No, the French pretty sucked at colonialism. Pretty much all the countries sucked at colonialism because nobody was ever good at integration. They always just wanted to take over shit. But I guess at some point, if you wanted to implement colonialism into your workings of your country, that you're a shitty person to begin with. I like history, but it's history without filters. I can accurately tell you that colonialism can be something that's done correctly and that nobody did it right. And in fact, that countries did actively suck at it and only were doing it for so long because of either technological advances that were not their own, or simply put that they had some sort of other advantage, like disease brought over from overseas or something like that. I mean, let me tell you, the British sucked at it so much that they couldn't keep like the Americas in check for like more than 200 years. They sucked at it. Pretty much any time the British wanted to colonize, like they fucking sucked at it so much. At least the Spanish kept it, like, got stuff out of it for the most part. The British didn't get shit. They just made everything worse.
羨ましいだって。
ええ、正しいことだけを主張して間違ったことからは無縁でいる。常に正論を振りかざすけれど、正論が生む多大な犠牲には気づかない。できるなら私だってそう責任を取らずにいたかった。
Hey, guess what? You don't have to.
そういえばシュタイン博士、先ほどアレスターと相対した時のあなたのハったりは面白かったわ。ほとんど出任せとはいえ、一部は真実をついていたのだから。このホールには封印がある。さながらあらゆる不幸を封じたパンドラの箱のように。そしてそれを開けることができるパンドラはフィーニスただ一人だった。フィーニスが死んだ今、彼の残したペンダントが
Man, it's really, you know, I don't know if they're gonna bring Finis back into this route just yet, but it's pretty interesting that they've decided that, like, the way that the chapter ends in the common route is that Finis quote unquote dies, and then they can choose whether to bring him back or not, because they've already established that, you know, he's kind of like, he's got some sort of thing to him, and then you can just say like, okay, that time you really killed him, and then every other time like it was like a body double or something like that.
おいおい、冗談だろ。完全にオーバーテクノロジーだ。
It's a good like option selector you can have.
一人の科学者が作ったもんなのか。
アイザックは一人で世界の歴史を変えた男よ。これくらいのことは造作もないでしょう。
That's probably true. That's probably true. She probably knows that Finis is dead. But I think it's just cool that they added that aspect of the common route. So like you can actually choose whether you wanted to keep Finis dead or not in the accompanying character route.
どういうつもりだ。
私は知っているわ。お人形ちゃんがジクテリウムを必要としている
Schrodinger's
こと。
pretty boy. Schrodinger's little brat.
そして彼女にだけはジクテリウムの毒が効かないこと。つまりジクテリウムが作動してもあなただけは生き残る。
Activate the Zicterium, then Cardio will be the Queen of London or England.
あなたが怪物になっては困るわよ。その通りよ。だからあなたの怪物化を止めることについては協力してある。あなたは全てが終わったら政府の保護を受けなさい。そして大変な時期を迎えるイギリスのために力を貸して。
How about no?
その場合、あなたの毒でロンドンは滅ぶ。お仲間も私たち。
What if I just said no? What if I just walked away?
なりにはなるけれど、それでもどちらにせよ、私の計画は成就する。
したたかですね。ある意味で素晴らしい姿勢者です。
God damn it, Saint Germain.
褒め言葉として受け
Saint Germain's like, you know, I respect it to a degree. No, Saint Germain. In fact, you do not have to hand it to
ど
her.
うするつもりかはよくわかった。
で、俺たちはどうする？ここでてめえの部下を相手にしてりゃいいのか？
私が兵器を動かすまで仲良くお留守番していてちょうだい。もっとも何もしなくてもあと40分もしないうちにあなたたちの大事なお人形ちゃんがこのロンドンを滅ぼすことになるけれど。さあどうするの？その子だけは生かすか、それとも全員で手を取り合って死ぬか。
カルディア。
全員即射殺ということ。
Ha, so you have chosen death. Time to shoot things.
忘れないで。
I'm really surprised Lionheart's not doing
怪
anything.
物として覚醒したあなたは政府にとっても厄介な存
He
在
stabs her here, right?
力を貸してくれるのが一番だけど殺すという手も選べるの
You kill her here.
さて私たちはもう行くわ
Huh.
従う気があるんだったら今からでも追ってら願わくば後悔しない結論を出してほしいわね
Really?
行こうカルディア君の毒を治すために僕はねカルディア
Huh.
今までずっと考えてた
I really thought they gave Lionheart that backstory so that something would happen.
自分の罪から逃げたくて行動してるんじゃないかって
It is not, it's not very much the style of these writers to have a side character solve the problem
確かなんだ
overall.
僕は過去の罪から目を背けたくて
But for this route, it would be fine. Because Victor doesn't really give a shit.
でもジクテリウムを使えば君の命が助かるって知った時君との未来をつかむためのものと
Oh god.
壊して逃げようとしてる過去が同じものなんだって知った時ようやく気づいたんだ過去からビクトリアもきっと同じだイギリスが他国を侵略した過去はどうしたって変えようがない
Okay, I guess something is gonna happen. Yeah, I was just gonna be like, it's poor writing to give a character a backstory like that, not to have them do something with it. It's like you're leading people like I have no reason to empathize with Lionheart if you're not gonna do something
そう
with
やっ
it.
て世界は間違いを続けてきたんだだから僕はビクトリアを止めるカルディア僕は罪を償いたい僕は君を助けたい僕は何一つ諦めないよ必ず
God,
ビ
we're
クトリア
still
を
in
止
chapter
めて
12, huh? Right, we might need to do one more stream for this one.
一緒に来て
I might have gotten too overzealous with getting Impy's route done in 3.
こんな時だってのに見せつけてくれるぜ
Lupin's like, oh man, this is so sweet and adorable. Brother, they have freaking guns!
行ってこいよこっちはこっちで何とかするさ
そうそう
Victor's real cute. Victor's real cute, right? Like he's... Yeah, we probably could do all of that.
あるいは正しいのかもしれ
Yeah,
ま
I
せ
think
ん
we're probably shooting for next stream.
けれど私はフランあなたの考えを支持します
We're probably shooting for
ここ
next
の心
stream.
配はいらない敵を蹴散らし援護に向かう
So let's just try to get to a stop point here.
行け二人とも
I'm assuming the chapter ends here somewhere. It just feels like it. Chapter end? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is it cannot get any better than this. 30 minutes. And we save. We lost so much time to bad endings. That's so funny. We lost maybe 25 to 30 minutes to bad endings, but I don't think we would have finished it anyway. So it is what it is what it is. It is what it is, you know? That's the benefit of like playing a route raw, right? Is that you experience these things naturally. So that's totally fine. It just means that, you know, We probably were gonna need a 4th stream anyway, so it's okay. It's okay. I just really wanted to start Saint Germain's because I'm really excited for it, but this is fine too. I think there's an interesting twist towards the end here.